Uh... 7 weeks on from Season 11's finale in Brazil, we arrive in Spa with a grid of not only fresh talents, the reigning 3-time champion returns for perhaps a last dance. This is WOR Season 12, and this is Xbox Tier 3. Alongside myself, Joseph F1 this season, helping me to talk you through all the action, it's none other than Mr. Zach Oates. How are you doing, Zach? I know it's been a while since you've done some commentary.
Mate, I'm honestly feeling excited. I am raring to go. Honestly, some of the names in this lobby has made me even happier to be here and commentate alongside you is an absolute privilege. So it's going to be a good season. Obviously, you've got the Humperdinck who is stat padding the hell out of it. But obviously, we've got people like Jam Pancakes who are looking to make a title charge this season, I'm sure.
And we've got the first spin of the day. Alex has spun around at turn 13. So, yeah, obviously, Spa-Francorchamps, 7 kilometre long circuit. I think it's actually 7.001 or something like that.
So
it's
stupid.
It's 1 metre over the actual allowed distance or something like that. Obviously, it's iconic. Iconic breaks the rules in terms of Formula 1 regulations. But a very Marmite track on this game. Obviously the curbs are not rewarding at all. You can mount them all you want, but you'll just spin every time, unless you found some absolutely genius setup. But I just wanted to know your thoughts on the track. Obviously you qualified last in Tier 1, as you just mentioned, but yeah, what are your thoughts on the circuit?
Honestly, on this game, I think it's well, more demanding than ever. Obviously, as you said, the curbs are absolutely ferocious, and the setup is so important for this track. And unfortunately, my setup was not ready for qualifying, and I did take a few tumbles into a wall or two. But yeah, the drivers have a tricky time to get a lap on the boards. But if they've done enough practice, I'm sure they'll be all right.
Absolutely. And speaking of said drivers, obviously we have the constructor-winning duo of the Humperdinck and Half 234, returning once again in the exact same car, the Aston Martin this season. Obviously, Harv missed a couple of races last season, which actually terminated his hopes of finishing P2 in the championship. If you remember last season, here in Tier 3, well, he went off to Old Trafford, and that was very funny having the score up. And obviously, United were losing for a while, but you know, it was Man United under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, so obviously they turned it around and he kept his job. But that was just my analogy and what I remember most from this race last season. But obviously, the Humperdinck and Harv, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with this season, don't you think?
Oh yeah, obviously watching last season, it was a good fight up until the end. I think Harv made a few mistakes in the end, which did cost him a shot at the championship. But obviously, he's now got that experience under his belt, and he's looking as quick as ever going into this season. So I don't think the Humperdinck's going to have it all done and dusted yet. So as long as Harv can get a good start to the season, I reckon it's going to be a great championship battle.
I'm also going to mention a very familiar name to us all, Flying Rossi, who, you know, at the start of the season, his results wasn't really scoring any points at all, and he didn't score any points until the 4th round in Canada. But yeah, he said he didn't really care at that point. But actually, in the last 3 races of season 11, he took 2 wins and a 2nd place. So, you know, there is maybe a glimmer of hope that he can carry that form over here into season 12 and actually be one of the front runners. I really want to see that happen, because who doesn't love a bit of Flying Rossi? You described him as a crackhead before we started.
Oh no, absolutely. Rossi is an absolute wonder to the F1 community. If he was no longer on the track anymore, I wouldn't want to be here. Seeing him in Tier 1 WOI in 2019 was an absolute privilege. Unfortunately, he was a bit of a crackhead then, but he's come back now, and I feel like he definitely will be wanting the championship this year because he's a bit more calmer. And there we go, straight away,
Hey!
P1 lap time, just showing how good this man really is.
Absolutely great lap there, by the way, by Flying Rossi, and very soon we might well be dipping into those 1 minute 41s. So let's keep an eye out on that as the session develops. We also have Hayden Cass returning, and well, he was definitely Mr. Consistent last season. He did every race bar one, and that was due to an SRC appearance. But he took 3 podiums last season, and in every race, well, he finished in the points in every race that he did. So I think Hayden Cass, Mr. Cockpit Cam himself.
Ooh, Cockpit Cam.
Yeah, I know. I actually didn't know that until towards the back end of last season, where it was just pointless me mentioning it, because it really doesn't make a difference to him. It's really rather impressive what he gets up to. He's partnering up this season with QBR teammate QBR20 Savoia. Yes, I was paid to say that.
Look, I'll tell you what though, I'm looking down this grid. Obviously, I've got a few familiar names. Obviously, NUFC Ryan, who did used to be very quick on the start of last game, but I'm pretty sure he took a long break, which is understandable because, well, F1 games can be very triggering to play. But we do have my favourite team on the grid, the completely English team in an English car with Flying Rosie and Jam Pancakes. Jam Pancakes obviously been very quick back in his day, and I'm sure he wants to be back at that top form.
I agree, yeah, Jam Pancakes. Obviously a lot of people have got on to me saying, yes, you're doing tier 3, you've got to say that line, and, well, maybe. If the time is right.
Yeah, we're not going to force it tonight, but if it has to happen,
let's not beg it, as
no
Twitter
begging
people would say.
But he is English, so we will be taking a lot of notice on him tonight.
Rule Britannia. Humperdinck, by the way, has invalidated on this run. Obviously, I mean, Spa, long track, plenty of places to invalidate, spin, whatever. So obviously the lap time's not coming in thick and fast. We're about 8 minutes into the session, 10 minutes to go, and we have 10 lap times on the board. The slowest of which set by TMS Amaze for the 1 minute 58.467.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal from TMS Amaze there. He's looking, I think he's looking for the win today, absolutely, with their lap times. He's an inspiration to mine. He may be Scottish, but I do appreciate Amaze's talent.
Absolutely. He actually said in the Twitch chat, rate my lap, so I'd maybe say a 9 out of 10. Not quite a 10 out of 10. You need to be over the 2 minute mark, I think, to be a very inspiring lap time. But
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's a bit dull at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got no one really on laps
treating
right
us
now.
to a lap.
Few on out laps right now, but no one at Harvey just coming in. So, and was that FRT Heaven who's actually retired? So I'm not sure what his plan is, but he's retired at some point in the session. So yeah, but we do have Squidge now on the lap in the Mercedes. So look, see what his lap time could be. As he's not got a lap time on the board yet. It'll be very interesting to see what pace he has for this season.
Absolutely. Now on the Kemmel Straight, on the run now down to Lakeholm. Great place for overtaking this. We've seen some iconic moments down the year on the Kemmel Straight. Mika Hakkinen back in the 90s, late 90s, can't remember which year, but I wasn't around then, so that's my excuse.
Yeah, very iconic, yes.
Kimi Räikkönen driving through the smoke. As more recent as Sebastian Vettel as well. Here comes Sebastian Vettel. Can't remember those moments. And the 4 wide with the Force Indias as well. Great racetrack for many reasons, Spa. But Squidge, you know, it has to go and ruin it. So hence the waffling. He invalidates.
Yeah, very, very iconic is the Kemmel Straight. Obviously, it's also got the time where Ayrton most saved an F1 driver's life by pulling over and turning the engine off, which is, well, iconic on its own, more than everything else that's happened.
Cheetah is out there. He's on the front row provisionally at the moment. He's heading down through No Name. Next up is Puon. And we'll see how committed he is to the cause here. Wow, 7th gear, small lift. And that was mighty impressive by the home hero, FRT Cheetah. And how much he'd dearly love a home win this evening. Hence he is attacking the curbs with all of his might. The home power coming to him.
Oh, and
He's
he's got away
purple.
there
He's full
with no
1000s up.
validation.
Surprisingly, he hasn't invalidated. Now it's flat out all the way to the bus stop. We've got Blanchemont turn 18 coming up here. And, well, it's hardly a corner in these modern Formula 1 cars. Now, can't miss the braking point, of course. No line on for these drivers. And the bus stop was pretty much nailed on. Bit of wheel spin up to the line. And the home hero, Cheetah, puts it on to provisional pole. It's a 42.054. And that is now the new benchmark. Flying Rossi has started his lap, though. We'll see how he can respond.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, Rossi set a great banker, to be honest. For a low 42.1, that is very competitive. Obviously, I don't know how good that was for him. Hopefully, he can improve more, but to get that time on board straight away at the start of the season, well, it's just phenomenal for Rossi. He's definitely shown what type of pace he has. But obviously, it would look nice to see how he can do the next lap. 30.1, not a bad first sector, but he probably would be wanting a little bit more.
Absolutely, and down he goes now in towards Bruxelles, turn 10 here. Got to hold it out, be patient, then get on the throttle, use a bit of the curb on the outside, and again now down he goes towards Pouhon. Compare his to Cheetah's. I think there was a much greater lift there, and I don't think he's got that spot on at all. There was certainly room in that one there as the provisional pole sitter Cheetah moves out the way for him, and Flying Rossi gets loose through turns 13 and 14, and I think this lap is slowly going to waste. He's about to hit the sector 2 split, and he's down on his previous best. Is he going to be able to find time in the bus stop? But in fact, you could also argue that there is a lot of time visibly in this lap, so if he does go again, he's got a really good shot at taking pole position here. Flying Rossi, is he going to commit, stick this one out and take the lap time? Takes a nice tight line on the inside. He was, and got a bit of oversteer there, and ultimately
I think he's been a little bit too late on the brakes into the chicane, locked it up and made it kind of way too tight for himself, unfortunately. But thankfully for Rossi, he does still have one more run to go, so it's not all over yet.
It isn't. I still think it's anyone's game. I don't think we've really seen the true potential of many drivers here. Sam 29 over a second down. This may well be an in lap for him. ETE Liam, this one isn't going to count. Harv is invalidated. We're really not seeing full potential at all. But it is clouding over a bit. If you do remember, it was sunny at the start of the session. So I wonder what impact that could have.
Yeah, so everyone seems to be... well, it is first race of the season. Everyone's tensions will be high, you know, everyone will be a bit nervous. Obviously, Jam Pancake's big one, who's not set that. Humberdinck, a huge one, who's invalidated again. Yep. Massive. Obviously, yeah, the clouds have really come over, so the rain could hit any moment now, which could throw Humberdinck to the back of the grid.
How good would that be? The 3-time WOR champion, the reigning champion as well, starting at the rear of the field. I mean, that would just be an opening race story and a half. Absolutely. Flying Rossi now off the track, having some...
bit of burnout,
some inspirational driving.
Yeah. Rossi giving us a little bit of a show, but the only person on our lap is Alex. I'm not sure if it's actual on our lap, though. It does seem to be pushing it quite hard through Pouhon.
Yes, Alex, the Spaniard who was in Tier 3 last season. We just want to see a lap time.
I know. Everyone seems to be bottling it really hard right now. And obviously, I think everyone else is now in the pit lane. Humbly now entered the pit lane. So we've got one more run left. Obviously, everyone's going to be waiting for track evolution to come in. Last moments of the thing. As long as obviously no rain is on its way.
I think the sun is actually poking through the clouds again, so I don't think the weather can make its mind up, as is traditional of Spa 2021. I don't even think we need to mention that. At the end of the day, that was not a race.
Obviously, but who would be your pick for pole today? Obviously, I don't think we've seen the potential of anyone really so far, other than Cheetah and Rossi, but I still think they've definitely got more in it. So... It's going to be anyone's game. Who do you think?
you know, watching Rossi there, I think there was so much still in that lap, and he'd only lost a tenth after all that time that we were on board with him. So I do think he has the most potential, but I would not be surprised if the Humperdinck just stepped it up, stuck it on pole. But another thing I do remember with the Humperdinck is that he spun on the opening lap last season, which obviously was massively significant to the championship with Harv not being here. So, well, I mean, perhaps not his favourite track, the Humperdinck, but he's got potential to recover. He always does. Last to second in Brazil, and obviously recovering back to fifth in last season's Belgian Grand Prix as well. So never rule out anything from our reigning champion, in my opinion.
Yeah. He's not the reigning champion for no reason, and so anything can happen for him. And obviously, it is Luke Humperdinck now, so we do hope that he doesn't get near the top, otherwise, because we don't want him streaking away. But for me, I'm interested to see what FRT Blackie could do here, because I know he does have pace on this game, as Rossi retires, actually. Interesting. But here comes FRT Blackie to start this lap. I think this could be a good one.
It may well be. Here he is in the Red Bull this evening. Nice exit off of turn one. There was a small lockup, but sometimes a lockup can just get the car stopped and turned in a little bit more. So, you know, when we say lockups in real life, it means flat spot box come in this lap. Not on the F1 game. You can abuse the game how you like, of course. These cars are not being paid for. Well, 60 quid on the game is debatable, but he is purple.
Yeah, that's a great sector one there from FRT Blackie. He's done the chicane pretty well, actually, to be fair to him. He's on a very nice lap, but obviously this track is so easy to bottle. Can he keep it together for the rest of the lap?
He's got a very smooth driving style, has FRT Blackie, as you can see in this lap. He's taking that esports line, as it's known, 7th gear.
Not bad.
I'd say that was very good.
Yeah. He's looking good now. Coming into the chicane now. These curves obviously ferocious, but he's missed the first one nicely, though, to be fair to him. Second one, not perfect, but still kept the speed through as he comes into the second sector split, and it is purple.
Wow. This is going to be close then.
It will be close
to find a tiny bit more. A tiny bit more. He's got to throw everything he can now into the bus stop chicane as the checkered flag falls here. Typical F1 has crossed the line, stays 6th fastest, Harv crucially there 9th. But we're watching FRT Blackie. TMS Amaze goes 4th fastest there to stick it on the second row provisionally. FRT Blackie rounded the final corner. Can he beat his FRT teammate Cheetah? But no, he loses a massive amount of time. It was, and he had to get it spot on. He did not. And that crucially rules him out of pole position. TTM Caesar impressively going 4th fastest. Next up, I believe we have NUFC Ryan, and he's found time on this one. It was a 43.0, his previous best. There's surely a lot of time in it. That's what he's finding at the moment. NUFC Ryan, 7th fastest for him.
Bad, but we see the reigning champion now coming through the middle chicane. This is the man we're all going to be watching. This is the man everyone's looking to beat this season as he comes from the second sector split. And it's a 13.7. It's not bad, but it's not going to be challenging for pole today, I don't think.
Sam29M coming up to line, and he goes on to the second row.
Right lap.
3rd fastest. Very, very good lap there. From Sam29M, and I think he was a late call-up this evening. Steve F1 has invalidated. This one will not count. Next across the line is Hayden Cass, last season's vice-champion. He goes 7th fastest.
I think it's not that good for Humperdinck.
And the Humperdinck goes 4th. I just couldn't get that into shot for whatever reason. I was playing up with myself there, but the Humperdinck does recover. Can Cheetah improve? He doesn't need to. The home hero has pole.
Oh, that's great from Cheetah, to be fair. Great pole position, to be fair. So he's kept the bottle. I don't think anyone really reached their potential in there, but that's still a very nice lap there from Cheetah. Nearly a 41. Fair play to him. Moves pole position at his home track. Congrats.
Great end to qualifying there. Great seeing so many position changes late on. Unfortunately, not on the front row. It stayed as it was. Cheetah from Flying Rossi. Those two will feel very, very fortunate there because Flying Rossi obviously retired before the final runs, and Cheetah didn't get an improvement on the board, so they could have very easily tumbled down the order. But their lap times are that good, they maintain the front row spots.
Yeah, that just shows how vital it is to get a good banker in, a good banker, good early few laps in, and it showed then everyone else didn't seem to get a good lap in at the end of the session, but them two, it worked well. I don't know what happened to Rossi. He did retire before the last run. I'm not sure if that's a strategic plan for the race, to save an extra set of tyres, but it still worked for him, front row of the grids. Maybe he knew that was a good lap.
Here are the qualifying results, and it was actually very, very close in that top 6 after all. About 2/10 within the front 3 rows. It's Cheetah from Flying Rossi, then Sam29, and the Humperdinck, FRT Blackie, TTM Caesar, that top 6. Adam Dude in 7th, another returning driver from last season's Tier 3 as well. He finished 7th in last season's championship and did take a win at Abu Dhabi. So be interesting to see if he can get another race win on the board this season. It'd be great if he could do that in the opening round. But from 7th, it's a massive challenge. You're going to have the bottom 10 opting for the mediums, perhaps. We're about to see in a moment. But strategy is going to be big in this one, isn't it, Zach?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, it's a pretty dead easy soft medium round here. But obviously, the people outside the top 10 will be going for the medium softs strategy, so it's going to be absolutely vital for people starting just outside the top 10, which is obviously Alex, who we know has pace. If he puts their mediums on and sticks with the front train, it could be a nice Grand Prix for him if he can get the old strat working.
Yeah, this could be realistically still anyone's game, as we all know. It was not a tier won by many drivers last season. So many different drivers took race victories, and I hope and I feel like that can be the same again this season. We start here then in Spa. It's a long way to go until we reach our season finale. That is in Brazil. I had to double check. I promise you, I was certain it was Brazil, but I just had to double check to see. We do head to Imola next week, and then Russia. So obviously Russia returning on the calendar this season. We've got Zandvoort back on as well. Australia returns, and we have the inaugural Saudi Arabia race on Xbox anyway, because of course it did make that one-time PlayStation appearance when the championship was wrapped up, I remember, but obviously we're going to see it on Xbox this season. Formation lap then. It's the longest formation lap of the season, and that gives us a chance to see some predictions from the live chat. There's so many of you joining us this evening. It's absolutely fantastic to see. I know a lot goes on these Wednesdays, but seeing everyone in here and enjoying the action so far is wonderful. So if the chat does have any predictions, I'm sure we've got time to go through them. But Zach, any predictions from you? Any top 3 bold suggestions?
Oh, I'll tell you what, it's hard looking down this grid. Obviously, we've got plenty of names. Obviously, you've got Cheetah, the home favourite. Obviously, putting in a nice pole position lap. Obviously, Rossi at front. I'm looking actually more down the grid, and I've noticed that Harv is actually qualified 14th in this, which is very surprising. And seeing that Alex actually opted to go for the soft, so Harv is a top 3 medium runners. If he can get a good start, keep the front train, I wouldn't put him off. It's been. I think he's going to be my bold P3 man, and then complete the podium. I think Experience is going to come to the Humperdinck, and I think Cheetah will also complete the podium.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, outside the box indeed. I mean, Cheetah, I don't think he'll be a happy guy today if he is the one completing the podium. He wants to be on the top step. I did ask him prior to the race whether he thought he could taste home victory. I hope he does. I remember last season, I believe it was Chidou, was on for a very nice podium, the Belgian, but managed to spin on the final corner on the last lap. So let's not hope for a repeat there. But obviously FRT Heaven and Alex opting for the soft tyres outside the top 10. Alex obviously on the fringes of the top 10, so maybe his progress won't be as noticeable, but Heaven, if he can jump some of those medium runners and make that aggressive strategy work, don't rule him out of a very interesting day in the Formula 1 virtual office today, as Cheetah rounds the final corner and the home hero is about to stick it in the pole position grid slot.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited for the start of this race. Obviously, we've got Flying Rosie at the front of the grid, and Sam, who did put in a nice little lap at the end of qualifying. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think it might not even be the best position to be in first, going up the Campbell Straight. So whoever gets the best start might not be leading at the end of the first lap. Here we go.
The 20th and final car, Squidge, is rolling up to his grid slot now. It means we're all set for WOR Season 12. We're all set for Tier 3. It's the home hero Cheetah on pole, but watch out for that run down towards Lake Holm. 5 red lights, lights out, and away we
great
go.
start from
Cheetah
Humperdinck.
does get away well. The Humperdinck jumping up to third immediately. Look at Flying Rosie going the long way round. It'd be great if he could make that work, but perhaps he'll commit to having the slipstream here, which he does. He's so close now, going down towards Eau Rouge and up towards Radion. We've got a spin, and it's Jam Pancakes as his teammate looks to go for first place here. Jam Pancakes has had the worst possible start in his return. Harver's already got a penalty, just seconds into the race. And here comes Flying Rosie. Here he goes. Around the outside at Lake Com, is he? But Cheetah holds on superbly. And the home hero keeps his pole position slot. He leads coming through the end of the first sector. And further back, the Humperdinck has gained a position that is now confirmed. He's up to third place. And further down the order, we're seeing some dramatic position changes as well. What a start from QBR20 Savoy. He started down towards the back of the grid. Harv as well, trying to make things happen. Oh, and there's contact there as ETE Liam had to take avoiding action. And Harv, his progress was looking solid, but he's just pegged back a moment.
Nah, what a mental start from Tier 3. Everyone is absolutely gunning for it. Maybe for mistakes in qualifying, they're trying to rectify it now in the race. But everyone, obviously, Harv with a penalty already, and NUC Ryan, which is, well, pretty awful for their race, because penalties around this track are obviously pretty limited, because it's pretty hard to cut corners around here. Even though it is easy, it's one of the harder tracks. But obviously, seeing Sam 29 and Jam Pancake spin off at the start is not the season start they would have been hoping for.
Absolutely. One lap almost in the books. 21 more to go. Cheetah runs just a tad wide, but he gets the final corner set up nicely. And TMS Amazed has gone off. He's had a spin or something. And, well, yeah, well, that's not ideal at all for TMS Amazed. He's now pegged back slightly as well on the end of lap 1, and he's got it all to do now. He's just about dropping out of DRS as well when that gets enabled for the next lap as well. Remember just how crucial DRS trains are on this game, and we never exaggerate when they create just that little bit of action. Flying Rosie sitting sweet in the slipstream. He's not going to make the move on this occasion. Is he going to wait one more lap and attack with the DRS, Zach?
Yeah, I think it's smart for Rosie here not to rush to move. It's very easy to get a bit eager on the first couple laps and get that lead, especially being in P2. And obviously, Rosie looking like he has the better pace right now with a Cheetah. But obviously, there's a long race to go. Rosie's been a bit more smarter this season, I think, as he makes a little mistake there, but nothing too bad. He's obviously saving his DRS, keeping. He's going to wait for the DRS, and then maybe he might be able to go straight past and maybe try and break the DRS early.
Absolutely. Further back, I'm quite enjoying seeing Harv and QBR20 Savoya switch places every so often, but yeah, both of them still trying to make progress, as we all know. Typical F1, actually the lead medium runner at the moment. He's in P9 and on the back of TMS and Maze. He's slowly going to come into this race and be one to watch. And we've lost QBR20 Savoya with a spin. He spins out at Campos, turn 14, and it did look like a great start for him, but now, if his university Wi-Fi was not going to be a threat to himself in the race, yeah, it seems like his own wrongdoings with the spin has not helped the cause either.
Yeah, no, it's not a great start from Savoy, because he did look good at the start, but obviously now that spin early on, the nerves have probably got to him a bit there. And it's just not the start he's going to be wanting for. Steve also makes a dive into it. But I tell you what, the pace at the front is looking really quick from Rosie and Cheetah. Humperdinck nearly out of the DRS window already. He's lucky that DRS has just been enabled, but he's got to use a lot of ERS this lap to try and stay within that DRS zone.
Speaking of DRS, Flying Rosie's rear wing opens now, and is he going to make the move finally? He had a shot on lap 1, he gets it done on lap 3,
Nice
and
move.
Flying Rosie trades the lead with FRT Cheetah, and that is crucial on the first time of asking with DRS. Flying Rossi gets the job done.
Yeah, it's also a bit crucial there for Humperdinck. Obviously, one move.
Oh, Squidge.
By 4 attempts. Oh, and Squidge is out of the race.
And that's a virtual safety car.
Calms everything down a bit. Let's calm down, because obviously that start of the race was mental. As we can look a little bit back as well, as we see TMS Amaze has actually really dropped off, which I'm surprised about, because wow, so Amaze can have some pace. Obviously, he might have a bit of damage though, because this is a bit unlike him to drop off this quickly, this early on.
Just take a look at that front wing. I mean, it doesn't look heavily damaged, but you know, even a bit of line damage anywhere on the car.
Line damage on this thing is huge. Obviously, even to the side pods, as virtual safety car is gone now. It's vital that Humperdinck gets a good restart, and he does. Luckily for him,
he does. Closes up. He was about 9/10 back, I think. So to get within now half a second, that is crucial. He's still well within contention, and if it is going to be his final season of league racing, he'll want to make it count. And seems like he's... Oh, TTM Caesar seems to have gone straight on at the bus stop chicane and takes a 10-second time penalty. So I don't know what on earth has gone on there, but he's overtaken by Alex at the inside of turn 1. TTM Caesar, I have no idea, and I'm not even going to question that, because that could have been anything. But
that
further back.
I don't know what's happened. I don't know if he's just been unfortunately clicked, but he's going to go for the move back on Alex. We'll see. That thing has just cost Alex DRS on FRT Blackie. So Caesar has to get this move done if he wants to try and get near. And you see Ryan also goes.
Oh, hello.
Oh, and Ryan goes a bit.
Oh,
deep.
The switchback.
Oh, that's great
from
racing.
Alex.
But he's kept him nice and tight on the apex. Oh, and Humperdinck.
Oh, the Humperdinck. Oh my word! And there is no front wing on that Aston Martin.
Oh my god.
The reigning champion, he spun on the opening lap last season here in Tier 3. He spun on lap 4 and ripped off the entire front downforce. And this contact from behind as ETE Liam hits him. And I don't think he's happy with that as he's slowing down. The Humperdinck bounces over the runoff. And it could well be a race-ending... spin there for the Humperdinck in terms of being competitive in this one. My oh my, was that the last thing he needed? And well, this could actually open up the championship to anyone this season.
No, yeah, that is huge from the Hummer. Yeah, huge mistake. Honestly, this grid is looking as strong as ever, and we kind of jinxed it by saying that, you know, he binned it last time on lap 1. He's made it past lap 1, but no further than lap 4 today for the Humperdinck, which I'm really surprised about, because obviously plenty of experience. I'm sure he would have done plenty of practice ready for this, and to try and, you know, redeem the last race he did here. But it's just not gone well for him.
Before anyone says commentators curse as well, I said that if this one is his last, then he'll want to end on a high note, and it's not a great start.
Oh,
I mean, it's pretty obvious.
That's done. It's done. It's gave the top 2 an absolute break for glory. They're clear by over 2 seconds. There's a change for third. Now, as Caesar gets into P3.
Absolutely. Alex and Blackie still hot on his heels though, so it's going to be a great race for the podium and a great race for the lead as well. We're only 5 laps in, but we just don't know which way this one is going to go. Cheetah, it's just got to keep cool. I know it might well mean a great ton to win at Belgium. Of course, the fans in those grandstands aren't real and are animated horribly, but who knows? Who knows? Oh, have we lost half? We have. Both Aston Martins have spun in the space of a lap, and the constructors' champions are having the worst start possible.
This is not what they would have been hoping for. They would have come into this looking to have a very strong season. Well, against each other, really. I would assume they were hoping to battle each other for the championship once again. Going in the team now, obviously, good mates. But it's been the worst start possible for them. They would not have expected this. And half of a penalty as well. And Humperdinck way back on the hard tyres, which is a tyre you don't want to be on. This is the worst start possible for the Aston Martins.
Unbelievable. That was definitely not in my predictions, which I didn't make, but Mental, absolutely mental. Cheetah, it's not a great exit coming off of turn 1, but he's still going to be within that DRS. There's going to be no rush for Cheetah at the moment, but if you could perhaps invite Amaze back, I'm sure that wasn't intentional. His Xbox turned itself off, he says in the Twitch chat as I say that, so yeah, perhaps give him a couple of moments and he'll be back on as Alex overtakes FRT Blackie, and Alex, who doesn't have a penalty, still well within a shot of getting a penalty. No, he's not! No, he's not, as there's dramatic contact between FRT Blackie and Alex. Oh my word, and there is the first safety car of this evening. I don't believe what I've just seen. It did look a bit laggy. It did not look right at all, seeing that collision. But yeah, definitely going to be some firm words in the steward's office.
I'm absolutely bamboozled the start of this race. Honestly, my return back to commentating, and I'm seeing an absolutely mental race. Can we just appreciate Jam Pancakes 44 was backwards through turn 1, lap 1.
He's 10th.
And he's now back into the top 10. And not only that, he will be right in the back of the leading train at the end of the safety car. With plenty of people in front of him having penalties, Jam Pancakes, we've got a third on the alternative strategy. This race is blown wide open. We could see Jam Pancakes on the podium today if he keeps it going well.
Wouldn't that be a sight? Wouldn't that be one of the great WOR drives if he could recover to a podium? But his teammate Flying Rossi from the race lead comes into the pits. Cheetah follows him in as you would expect, as does Caesar and Blackie and NUFC Ryan. All of the soft runners are going to make their way in, of course, under this safety car period. Why wouldn't you? Quite frankly, and on go the medium tyres. But typical F1 is going to stay out there and take the race lead.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think, also I've seen Jam Pancakes 44 come in there. I've wondered what tyre. He's obviously going to go onto the hard tyres here, I think. It's unlucky for him because obviously, you know, there's nothing you can really do. If you stay out, I don't think you can gain enough time, and it's so hard to overtake him on this track. I think it is the right decision for Jam to pit. Obviously, the fact that he has gone to the hard tyres is not going to be fun for him, though. Lim Jet has gone to the soft tyres. He is expecting a miracle. He's expecting a miracle here to make them softs go to the end. Unfortunately, I don't think he can do it. And
TMS Amaze said that he wanted his ghost to put
mediums on. His ghost has put hards on. Amaze is going to be absolutely fuming.
Hards on.
Yeah, I don't know what the ghost is doing there. He could have actually had a good race. He still would have been in it, right there on the mediums. But unfortunately, he's going to get absolutely bamboozled here by Jam Pancakes 44.
I mean, Tier 3 is popping up in the chat at the moment, so we're kind of having like race radio here. TTM Caesar saying I can get 10 seconds removed surely, and I don't see why not. I didn't exactly see what happened, but I don't think that warrants 10 seconds at all. Certainly if it wasn't intentional, and I don't think it was, so I don't see why not. It would at least be a reduction.
Just seeing how many positions you would have gained, Caesar, I'm not sure. Obviously, we didn't see the incident. As long as you didn't gain, if you gained a little bit of time, then you probably would hopefully get the penalty, reduced at least by minimum. I don't think anything that you would have done would have warranted a 10-second penalty. So don't worry about that, mate. You're in the top 4. Crack on.
Safety car period here.
It should be another lap to go with everyone to catch on. Oh, and this is also actually kind of safe to Humperdinck here now. Obviously, he is last, but he's going to put the medium tyres on, fresh medium tyres, and he will be able to get us back. Obviously, I don't think a good result is here, but points can be recovered here for him today.
I think typical F1, the only driver that didn't pit there leads the race, and well, not sure if he knows, but looking back on this, if it doesn't pay off, yeah, interesting call there from typical F1, but if he pulls off a miracle here, I would never question such strategy ever again. But
no, yeah, absolutely.
It is what it is.
Yeah, as we see if he comes to the pit lane, but obviously, yeah, typical F1. Yeah, he's obviously going to be hoping for a lot of luck. He's going to be hoping for people to drop out of DRS zones, bit of crashing, maybe another safety car he's going to be hoping for, but being only about 5 laps off his pit stop, in them 5 laps, I don't think he's going to be able to drop because they're all fresher tyres and the same compound. So I think he's just going to drop like a sack. Unfortunately, I don't think the strategy's going to work out for him.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. Oh, and University Wi-Fi does strike for QBR20 Savoia. Did ping me a little bit earlier on saying you might have to invite me back several times, but that's what the co-commentator's for.
Oh,
and
dude,
virtually
to the wall. But yes, I will give him an invitation.
On earth?
But what has happened there to Adam, dude?
Adam, dude, spinning out under the safety car. Oh no!
He's had an absolute nightmare there.
That does promote the Humperdinck. He's slowly rising up through the order. Obviously, Jam Pancakes and Harv did switch their strategy to the medium tyres. So that did elevate the Humperdinck a couple of positions, and he did it last season. Got all the way back up to the top 5. I'd say it's going to be a more difficult task this evening. Certainly in the opening rounds, where practice is perhaps at its peak. Everyone's performing to their best in race conditions. Obviously, we've already seen the Humperdinck around once with no front wing. There's no ruling out that it might happen again.
Yeah.
Are we going to be in this lap? Yes, we are.
That's lovely to see. Obviously, yeah. The Humperdinck now up to 15th. I think it's a wrong decision for the Jam Pancakes and Half to pit, actually, to be honest, because yes, they were on the hard tyres, but they had good track position, and obviously their hard tyres will come back to them later in the race, and it's so hard to overtake at this track that I just don't think they'll be able to come through without a bit of luck.
Here we go then. It's typical F1 from 12th on the grid that is going to get this race restarted, albeit he hasn't pit. But we're going to start lap 9 here. Typical F1 now, foot to the floor, and we're racing again at Spa-Francorchamps with a great getaway there actually from Flying Rossi, and he's going to put the Mercedes driver under a lot of pressure immediately here, and there's a move from FRT Blackie. He edges out NUFC Ryan there as well. It's an Alpine filling in a Red Bull sandwich, as we can see down towards Eau Rouge, and now up to the top of Radion. Here comes Flying Rossi then. He's made this move once before to take the race lead. He's going to do it once again. This time he's being forced to the outside. He needs to use all of the overtaking can. It's a straight drag race, and Cheetah's waiting in the wings as well. And net 1-2 in this race. Now back up to 1-2. Both of them sweep around the outside of typical F1. And that was very crucial. And that leaves us with a race again, as off goes FRT Heaven. And he comes back on, almost clipping TMS Amaze there at turn 9. So yeah, not great there for FRT Heaven. It did look like he was perhaps just forced off there, or went off himself. Didn't quite catch that.
No, yeah, absolutely. It's been and honestly, see the top 2 get past typical.
Oh.
Also, a bit of mic issues there, but yeah, seeing the top 2 get away so quickly and past typical. If they can push now, use the ERS. They have got already an 8-10th gap to typical, and obviously Caesar's still behind. But if they can break the RS of Caesar, this race could be back into the norm for them, and exactly what it was before the safety car, and exactly what they want.
TTM Caesar is going to want to get this one done as soon as possible. On board with Ferrari, has used all of his deploy on this lap, and he has a look to the inside, but can't quite commit to that one. It does give the Mercedes rear diffuser a nudge through the final corner. It's not going to be it this time around. He's using so much energy to try and get past the Mercedes because he wants to keep in DRS of the front 2. He still feels he has a chance even with that 10-second penalty. There's a quick peep at the penalties for you. Harv, Blackie and NUFC Ryan all suffering 3-second penalties as well at the moment. No DRS just yet. That will come into play on the next lap.
No, yeah, and we're also looking down the field. The 2 Aston Martins have made a great start to the after the safety car. And Humperdinck now down the inside of the Haas of Sam 29. Will he get this move done? It should be nice and easy for him. Yeah, nice to let on the brakes. Humperdinck knows how to overtake. Lovely. And we've got a bit of contact up front between Heaven and Steve.
Yeah. Yep, that's, well, he's already made contact with the Williams going through Lecom. He's now fighting away with Steve F1 to hold on to P8, and they're going to go side by side through No Name. Steve F1 up the inside. Great move there, very committed. But FRT Heaven slipstreams down in towards Puon, where you don't want to make a move at all.
Yeah, he's getting very
FRT Heaven is
ambitious.
caught out. He runs wide. He's getting ambitious, as you say. And, yeah, I think the dream's just about over in this middle sector. We'll come at the Ferrari again on the next lap.
Yeah, it's great defending there from Steve, though. That's exactly what he needs. You know, the gap from Amaze is already huge, and he doesn't want to be dropped into the pack. He wants to get past Amaze as quickly as possible and hope that he can just try and get back within like the 3-second window to NUFC Ryan and Blackie.
Oh, Flying Rozzie's in AI. Hold on. Hold on. Flying Rozzie has gone.
What's
Is that
going
a
on to
temporary
Flying
issue
Rozzie?
or something? But is it batteries or something? Fortunately, he maintains the lead. But now with DRS enabled, Cheetah is just that much closer to the back of the McLaren.
Oh, we also see a move from the Humperdinck down into turn 1 round the outside. Can he get the move done? Going a bit deep. And Hayden defends well. And yeah, Humperdinck backs
Oh
out
my
there.
days!
Oh, and
It's 2-2 almost. But the runner-up
God.
from last season holds on to P10, and Cheetah's got the race lead as we switch back to the front-running action. Cheetah's got it done before the turn-in for Lecom. And as you would expect there with Flying Rozzie going into AI, and in fact it just brings typical F1 and in fact the whole top 6 that much closer.
Yeah, this is looking thing, but we've got a massive Titanic battle going on for P10, but obviously it seems it all sorts itself out. And Jam Pancakes! Oh, that could have been race ending there for Jam, but he's luckily kept the car going, and it seems to have settled down finally after all that. Sam has been absolutely mugged off there, going from 11th down to 15th, unfortunately, because he did have good pace, but he seems to be a bit unfortunate in that battling. Steve has also made his way past Amaze, which is exactly what he needed to do for his race.
We're seeing that opening race buzz about some of the racing here this evening. It is obviously, you know, every point matters surely now in this championship as we see the Humperdinck half. Hayden Castle down there, and in fact we've seen FRT Heaven have a spin, and that is actually at turn 16. So I'm not sure what's gone on there. Has he had a spin or something? Got on the overtake and lost out there, but yeah, Flying Rozzie now out of DRS to Cheetah.
Yeah, that's huge for Cheetah. Cheetah get a great exit out of here. If Cheetah can do this, he might be able to break away. But Rozzie, very nice turn 1 there. Great on the traction, nice and composed, and that might just catch him in a chance of a win, as he does go and cut a Rouge, which is a warning he would not have liked.
Side by side down towards Eau Rouge as Adam Dude edges ahead of Harv for a moment there, but Harv is going to come back at him with the slipstream and the DRS, but Adam Dude also has slipstream and DRS on the Humperdinck. It's just one complete train here, and Adam Dude might fancy his chances into Lecom, but in fact it all just stays single file into the medium speed chicane. But wow, I'm thoroughly enjoying this. This is great action so far as Hayden Cass has a think about it. And Jam Pancakes is going to look to go the long way round. And if he could have pulled that off, I'd nominate that for an Overtake of the Season award already. Not that that's official in any way.
No, yeah, that's Jam Pancakes. Obviously, the more race he does, obviously the more. Here we go, send it to Chicane though, cut me off. Oh, and he goes in very deep, yeah, as I was about to say, obviously very inexperienced because he took a long break, and the more laps he does, the better and more composed he'll get, but obviously, yeah, that move just showing that he's a bit inexperienced nowadays.
Absolutely, but I'm sure that will come with time as well. But we're over half distance now. Cheetah leads still on the cusp of breaking DRS, but Flying Rozzie has actually got a brilliant exit and still is in DRS down the very short start-finish straight, so just closes up that little bit more. Cheetah back under pressure here. It's really not over until it's over here.
And Typical has actually done himself pretty good job actually. Heaven is returned to the pit lane, yeah, it's understandable. Yeah, Typical obviously managed to stay in the DRS zone of the top 2. If he dropped out, it would have been, pretty bad for him. But he's going pit, and it looks like he'll come back out in about P14. Depending on how well he can do on them soft tyres, we'll have to see. But will this strategy could work? It looks like he hasn't done a bad job considering, but I still think it'd be too much for him to come back on.
Absolutely. Adam Dude getting ahead of the Humperdinck once more to take P9. And it was the opening round last season where we saw a titanic late race fight between the Humperdinck and Haas 234 as they duelled away to try and take command of the championship. They were 1-2 that day. They're now P10 and P11. How times change, and that's just why I love the evolutions from one season to another. Not that they deserve to be there on raw pace, of course, but obviously their spin's pegging them back, as we all know. Still, 9 laps to go as we cross the line, and Flying Rozzy still around that 7/10 mark to Cheetah. And Cheetah and Flying Rozzy as well on about similar ERS levels as well, so this can still go either way. It's great.
Oh, when it comes Jam Pancakes, look for a move on half now down into the chicane. Oh, and amazing, it's a 10-second penalty.
Oh,
wow, not good for him.
He's done the Caesar.
Yeah, I don't know what he's done there, because he hasn't gained any time on Adam Dude or anything. That's interesting, but yeah, Amaze, we'll have to see if he gets it removed at the end, obviously, in post-race penalties. But obviously, Jam Pancakes, though, he looks a lot stronger. Here comes Harv, definitely looking for a move on his team, and as Humperdinck squirrely up Air Rouge, and Caesar also makes a move up into P3. But we go on board of Harv now. Will he get the move done on the Humperdinck? He looks to the outside of the chicane. I don't think he's going to risk that one. Yeah, just a bit dodgy. I mean, it does make a mistake, but that should be P10 secured Humperdinck for now.
Harv knows his racing, I have to say, and he's not going to make that risky move on his teammate in the opening round of this season. That's for sure. But he knows they've got a Constructors' Championship to defend. That will be his main aim, and they don't want to risk getting no points at all. There is still hope of getting a few more than just one as a team as Half runs wide again. He's already got a penalty in this race. And here comes Jam Pancakes making an optimistic move at Poo-1. Now the chicane! And Half has got around again. He gets pinched on the inside at turn 13. Jam Pancakes tried to go around the outside. And that is Spa in a nutshell.
Nah, yeah, Jam Pancakes obviously capitalising on Half's pretty rookie error mistake there, it seems. I don't know what happened there with Half through Poo-1, but it just completely muddled it all up. But Pancakes pounced on it, but unfortunately, I don't know if he just turned in a bit too much on Half, or Half just got a bit ambitious on the apex. But all I know is Half is now spun. Pancakes is flying right now, but I'm sure that'll be reported to the stewards at the end of the race.
And another thing as well, typical F1's tyre drop-off now quite significant, 14 laps. He's been on those medium tyres since the very start of the race, and he's got NUFC Ryan coming at him now. He was P3 just a moment ago, now it's about to be P6, but NUFC Ryan takes 2 on the Kebble Straight. He's up to 4th from 6th place, and that is very, very nicely done from NUFC Ryan. He needed to make that one work while he could, and he did just that.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, typical going to pits. That's obviously from position, and Blackie also has penalties. That's confirmed him up in the P4 for now, and he needs to get back onto the back of the top 3 because they have broke DRS on his train. It's vital for him now. 44% ERS, not bad, much more than Caesar. So if he can pounce and use his ERS well, it could be nice end to the race for him. But obviously, typical should have pitted by now. It's just too long for him to wait, and he does hit the curb, and yeah, it's all going wrong for him now. The tyres are just a bit too old, and and Humperdinck also has a penalty. Yeah.
Could not have thought of a worse start for Aston Martin here this evening.
It's just horrible to watch.
Yeah, it could mean we see a new team on the rise this season. I mean, I'm not against that by any means, but
no, absolutely not.
Lap
yeah.
16. We're getting in towards the business end of the race where Flying Rossi might just fancy his chances once again. He's still at about that half a second mark, but again, it's still very close on the ERS front as typical F1 makes his way in. He'll drop down towards the rear of the field, and on go the soft tyres, so maybe he'll fancy a fastest lap in the process as well to nick a point, I believe, off Cheetah. Yes, that's right. He's quickest lap of anyone so far.
Yeah, Cheetah obviously still looking strong, but here comes Jam Pancakes now. Jam Pancakes looks plenty of ERS, DRS slipstream. Could be a very easy move. That's happened to P9. What a recovery driver it is so far. And obviously, Adam Dude in front, who is looking quick, is gaining on Steve and Amaze. So Jam Pancakes could definitely be looking for a top 6 finish in this race, which would be a great start to his season.
See, Amaze has got that penalty, Steve F1 as well, so yeah, there is still great potential here as FRT Blackie's got ahead of NUFC Ryan. That appears to be a mistake because FRT Blackie has gone flying off into the distance, and I don't see any other way that could have happened. It's just these random things in this race which you just miss because they're so unexpected.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything seems to be kicking off. I think it's just everyone's a bit nervous in the first race, and obviously this track is a very difficult one. And
he's done it again. He's done it again.
Yeah.
The Humperdinck. He's done it again.
Describes his race, that one. It's just, yeah, Humperdinck, the worst possible start to the championship.
Oh.
Tyres are a bit hot now. It's an absolute shambles from the Humperdinck. Unfortunately, that is race over for him. It looks like the Aston Martins will not be getting a single point at round 1. Not what we expected at all.
Wow. Yeah. I don't think I didn't really personally see any predictions in the Twitch chat, but I don't think anyone would have had that. Jam Pancakes with the fastest lap on lap 17. Well, on the end of 16 as he just finished, but great lap time there from Jam Pancakes to take the quickest one of the race, and is the reigning champion about to retire? I think he might be. He speeds into the pit lane, and that is almost definitely race over.
Here we come, Jam Pancakes again.
Jam Pancakes.
Late lap on Adam Dude.
Oh, it's going to be tight. That is going to be tight on the outside. Is he going to commit?
That's smart from Jam.
Tries the switchback.
Yeah, he couldn't get that done. Obviously, this chicane's so tight. But Jam Pancakes, it's obviously got some phenomenal pace right now, and he still has like 6 laps remaining. So he knows just keep calm. He's got a bit. He's got same amount of ERS as Adam Dude, and he's catch up to a hard runner now. So keep calm. Got plenty of laps left, Jam. You can still do this, mate.
We're all with you, Jam Pancakes. It's highly anticipated return here, and yeah, a lot of people were actually very excited about this, and I'm glad that he's putting on this comeback show for us, proving he has still got it in him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially seeing round backwards at turn 1, that one, and back up to the P9 one now, with the potential of top 6 finish if he can get through these two up in front of him very quickly. The teammates of Amaze and Adam Dude, but I don't see Adam Dude getting past Amaze very quickly. But Adam Dude does look inside.
Hello.
Jam Pancakes.
Oh my word, that's Amaze with the second 10-second penalty, and Adam Dude spins for good measure.
He did have contact there with Jam Pancakes, but I do not see Jam Pancakes at fault there at all. I think Adam Dude's just gone way too hot on the left-hand second part of the turn chicane, and unfortunately clipped him. But TMS Amaze now racking up the penalties.
25 seconds. We got a change for the race lead. It was coming. It was closer than it has been for a while. But Flying Rossi retakes the race lead on lap 18. Perhaps to the distraughtness, is that even a word, of Cheetah? But he'll be determined, I'm sure, just as much to regain the lead. TTM Caesar right on the pair's tail as well. He's done a great job to stay in contention. But yeah, absolute drama at the chicane between Jam Pancakes, TMS Amaze, and Adam Dude. Adam Dude now dropping down to P11. Jam Pancakes says thank you very much and goes up into P7.
Yeah, that's absolutely stupendous driving there from Jam Pancakes. He saw Adam Dude go way too. Adam Dude didn't need to do that. He was already alongside the Amaze into the chicane, and he completely missed his braking point, which is unfortunately very easy to do when you're on the inside line. But yeah, just show. It doesn't really show his race because he's had great pace. He can still get a top 10 finish here, but he's now got to push hard. But obviously, we're looking to Jam Pancakes now, who is gaining on Steve F1 a half ahead of him and could get a nice top 6 finish. Maybe even
Yellow
more.
flag.
With the
It's half. It's half. And
Halves
that
out.
is a crash at turn 16. And I'm not really backing I'm not really backing a late race safety car here because I think it might have come out by now, and in fact it's green at that corner.
Thank God we didn't, because obviously we would have. I don't really want to see a safety car. The race has been as good as it can get, and obviously we've got the people that would deserve to win this race battling up in front. Cheetah and Rossi. Obviously, Caesar with that penalty, but no ERS to his name. I don't think he's going to be able to get the win here unless something catastrophic happens up front.
He'll need these two, to do that colliding thing, which I don't want to jinx.
Not a
Because
jinx.
I know I've said because I know I said that Alex moved up into a podium position. Is he going to contend to it? Oh no, he's in a wall. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's good. I don't know. I can't call who's going to win this. Obviously, Cheetah and Rossi have just been switching places all race. They've both got great amount of ERS. They've both done really well in this race. There haven't really been any mistakes. They've definitely been the class of the field today. But can they finish off this race? Who is going to get the win? Who wants it more?
I think pressure is reaching these two. We've seen both of them just make tiny little errors, which would need to iron out in any other circumstance. But in this sort of scenario, you can understand it, particularly on Cheetah's behalf. Flying Rossi, who won the season closing race in Brazil last season, took 3 podiums from his last 3 races, including 2 race victories. The man that we all wanted to see transfer that form over to this season has 3 laps to hold on to this race lead.
Yeah, Rossi looking very strong up front. 7.5 tenths now. Is Cheetah feeling the pressure a little bit more? I'm not too sure, to be honest. I can't call it till it gets at least lap 21. I think Cheetah's trying to save that extra bit of DRS, which is obviously vital. As we look now to Jam Pancakes, who is getting ever closer, has got the DRS zone on Steve, so that's great for his race. And obviously we look to the battle for, well, obviously we look to P4, but Blackie doesn't seem close enough to challenge NUFC Ryan for technically P3.
Oh!
But I'm amazed.
That's contact at Les Combes. TMS amazed. That's not the first tangle he's been involved with this evening. He's got 25 seconds worth of penalties as well. He's now outside the points. Sees typical F1 go past him, and it's been an unfortunate day for TMS Amaze. Got the disconnect under the safety car as well. Wanted to go into those medium tyres, was not able to do so because his AI pitted for the hards. But yeah, TMS Amazed. I fully expect him to bounce back though.
Yeah, it's been a very rough day for Amaze, but he's got plenty of experience in league racing. I'm sure, he has a little bit of a break, comes back. I'm sure this probably won't be a strong track for him anyway. So he'll come back, a bit more luck next time, and I'm sure he'll definitely be looking to get some strong points on the board around 2. But as we look now to Jam Pancakes, actually, who is right on the back of Steve F1. And I think he's just got to compose himself here and wait for the camel straight, because he's so close that he'll be very tempted to dive up the inside into turn 1.
And that is DNF number 6, QBR20 Savoia, another victim of the turn 13-14 chicane at Campos. But Flying Rossi is now turning up the heat. He's pulled away by about a second now, and in fact he might have just broken DRS. No, in fact, Cheetah is still in it and needs to gain as much as possible on this lap to attack, to win his home race on the 22nd and final lap. It's not going to be this time around, but he just needs to nail every corner, avoid getting a penalty, and it could well be his if he's close enough. Jam Pancakes does get ahead of Steve F1, and in fact is in net 5th. What a drive from Jam Pancakes, who was 20th, plumb last and well off the pack at turn 1 on the opening lap. Now sees himself with he's actually in range to get to P4
Wow. Absolutely phenomenal for Dan Pancakes. It could have been very easy just to return a pit lane after his lap 1 start. But he's kept it out, he's kept it going. And even though at the end of the safety car he was last on the restart, he could be on for a P4. For which, let's be honest, technically a P3, but obviously I'm pretty sure seats technically will get removed. But a P4 to start the season, I'm pretty sure Jam Pancakes will not be disappointed with that.
Absolutely. It all comes down to this then. You'd think it's a championship showdown, but in fact, it's a decider for a race win in the opening round of WOR Season 12 here in Xbox Tier 3. Cheetah giving it everything. He started on pole. The home hero has led for a significant period in this race, as has Flying Rossi, just showing you how intense and how much pressure there has been in this battle. But Cheetah now 6/10 behind. He's just getting a bit loose up the top of Radion, and in fact drops a bit of time here, and his slingshot onto the Kemmel Straight hasn't quite worked to plan. He gains and gains and gains, but it's not going to be enough. He needs the straight to be a few hundred meters longer for to even think about making a move. But Cheetah still will fancy his chances if he stays close enough into the bus stop chicane, which is not easy.
No, yeah, it's absolutely phenomenal for Rossi. He's done everything perfectly. Obviously, Cheetah tried to save the extra bit more ERS over Rossi, but unfortunately, Rossi did just have too much ERS for not even to matter how much Cheetah had over him. It's great racing from Rossi there, and he looks to get the first win of the season and to take that vital championship lead after round 1. Phenomenal.
Against all the odds, he went and took P3 and last season. Oh! Oh my word! Oh my word!
I can't believe
my
it.
Word!
He's done absolutely everything right.
Oh my word! Oh my word! I have no words, and I think I just accidentally screamed. I think.
Oh, I can't believe what I've just seen. Rossi has absolutely thrown it away. A Jam Pancakes battle for P4.
I've seen it all.
But
I have seen it all in league racing. As Cheetah rounds the final corner, and it's the home hero after all. Oh my word!
As Jam Pancakes also comes across the line, will take
that is a net
provisional P2 by 11 thousandths.
Oh my word!
God. I think that'll be P3, but Jam Pancakes will come back for a podium. I can't believe that last lap I've just seen. Absolutely incredible. Rossi,
I don't even know what to say, mate.
Rossi, I'm in tears for you, mate. Oh, I can't believe what I've... What a race from Tier 3.
Oh.
Caesar,
yeah,
congrats on your P2 Caesar, mate. Jam Pancakes podium. What a podium for him. Obviously, Cheetah getting that home win. Oh, Rossi.
That actually hurts. I was preparing to build it up.
He did everything.
As a main commentator does.
Oh my God!
It scared the living shit out of me.
Yeah, he was clear. He was good 6 to 7 attempts into that corner. It was a mistake that I'm pretty sure he would never have made in practice, let alone on the last lap with comfortable gap to P2.
It was like a horror film.
Oh
my word!
I am in tears. I can't believe what I've just seen. But star of the day, obviously, Cheetah. We thought he just missed out on the win, but he kept himself composed, and he did manage to get that home victory and pole position, which is, well, I'm sure he's delighted with.
And if I did accidentally let off a minute scream, yeah, that's how I watch F1 in real life. I think Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton gave me too many heart attacks last season, so I mean you can probably allow the emotions getting a bit high, but I mean there's pretty much 5 drivers. I'm going to invite the top 5. Perhaps not all of them will join, as you would expect, but it'll be fantastic to get some interviews in, because I want to hear some of those emotions in this top 5. Flying Rossi has probably thrown his Xbox out the window. I would not be surprised one bit. I'd be absolutely raging if that was me. And oh,
yeah, no,
breathe.
I can't. Rossi is he does, but I can say though he did manage to still get fifth. That could have easily been race ending for him. He still managed to get fifth. I know he'll be so disappointed with that, but we've seen the type of pace now that Rossi does have, and I'm sure he's going to come back even stronger now for round two. Which I'm surprised it's going to be very hard for him because he did drive so well, but round two is going to be even stronger, I think.
I agree. Let's see who else joins. We do have Caesar, who will obviously be claiming that podium. Oh, hello, I can hear myself. Um,
That's a bit better.
okay, I think it's good now. It's good now.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I don't know to start with. I mean, it seems that only these two have joined for the moment. I'm accidentally taking a screenshot
No,
again. Need
I
to
think
stop
we
doing
I
that.
think we start the P3. I think Pang Chan will be put down to P3, so I think we start with him and we've got the
Ah,
podium.
yeah, let's go for it. Yeah, jam pancakes. Your long anticipated return here into tier three. A lot of drivers are up and down league racing. We're looking forward to this, and you seem to have attracted an audience today. And to top it off, you've gone from 20th on lap one at the first corner to taking a provisional P2, but still likely to be P3. But still, you must be absolutely delighted with that. Absolutely, and I'm sure that's a bit of a benchmark for you. There is still obviously however many rounds there is left in this season. We're only at round one, and you have taken a podium. So, have you got your sights set on maybe finishing in that sort of position in the championship as well? Top three. Got to get your sights set high. Oh, I like that. I
Yeah,
like that. That is a
absolutely.
brilliant
Obviously,
response.
Jam Pancakes, it's brilliant to see you up here, mate. The English flag was beautiful on the podium. I'm very excited to see. But obviously, I was very disappointed with the qualifying. It wasn't very English. Obviously, P16, I think it was in the end. I knew you'd be very disappointed with that. But after backwards on lap one, I can tell you that was a champion's drive coming through. Obviously, I think the incident with Harv was a bit dodgy. But, you're a bit inexperienced, you're a bit rusty. Going for the rest of the season, mate. Are we going to see a Jam Pancakes domination now? Yeah, well, good luck for the rest of the season, mate. You're looking strong.
Agreed. Very well done to you. Let's move on then to TTM Caesar, who may well re-inherit that P2, and well, perhaps you didn't imagine that one after being sat in third with a 10-second time penalty. Perhaps having that extra weight on your shoulders just to get the job done with that penalty as well. But yeah, just your thoughts on that race, Caesar.
Yeah, well, the qualifying wasn't that good for me. I didn't get a good banker in. I validated my second one. Luckily, I still had uh, a decent third one to get sixth. Yeah, I think lap five it was with Alex in the last chicane. I think it went very deep, so had to cut the chicane. And then the game gave me a 10-second penalty, even though I immediately gave the position back. So yeah, I expect that to be removed. Um, And yeah, afterwards, I think after the safety car, I had to make an overtake on the Mercedes. He stayed out, so he was a bit slower. Luckily, I pulled that off in time because otherwise, Cheetah and Rossi would have gone already. Um, I did use some ERS, so through lap 14 to 22, I had to use quite a lot of ERS every time to stay with them. So in the end, I couldn't really attack. Yeah, I think I was settled in with P3 going into the last lap, but what happens with Rossi? Tragic. But we take the P2. It was a good race. I think Rossi was. I
Absolutely.
think Rossi was by far the quickest today, even though he was set behind Cheetah for most of the race. But I think he waited intentionally to overtake him last lap, and then after he'd done the move on the last lap, he pulled away with like 9/10 difference or something. So yeah.
I am just going to pause for one moment because my sources are saying in the Twitch chat that Jam Pancakes did not include his audio, and that is a red flag.
Oh god.
That is a red flag. Not including your audio. I mean, I should have said, but like, oh well.
I'm included now.
If you've got any inspirational short words to say to,
I'll
those who
say
are waiting
I've got
to
a
hear
few
your
words.
voice.
Right, so I'll say who won again? Who was it? What was his name?
Cheetah.
Cheetah. Well done, Cheetah. I'm English. I'm proud of it. Zach Oates inspired me today. Well done, Caesar for P2. That's it.
You
Brilliant, mate.
inspired me
Absolutely
today, man.
brilliant.
P20 to P2. That's god tier.
It's Jam Pancakes
Love
S,
that.
mate. Jam Pancakes
Sportsmanship.
S there. But, Caesar, mate, I just want to quickly say congratulations today, mate. Obviously, that penalty early on, I didn't actually see it, but I'm sure that should get removed in the stewards book. So P2, great start to the season for you. Your pace looks strong. I think obviously Rossi while leading the train kind of ruined you a little bit. Obviously Rossi's pace was unreal and made you use a bit more ERS than you were hoping for. But P2 to start the season, that's a great start. And how are you looking to do the rest of the season?
Well, I'm not sure if I can attend every race, but I'm obviously aiming for. I think it's currently my only league where I'm a full-time driver. So yeah, I think Belgium wasn't my best track and didn't really do a lot of practice. So hopefully I can aim for the podium each race, and then we'll see where I end up in the standings.
Yeah, well, good luck, mate. You're looking strong, and I wish you all the best.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much indeed, and I have to say, despite all the Wednesday shenanigans that go on, viewership was rather immense today. Much better than many races last season, so that's really encouraging. I hope this season is going to be an enjoyable one for all, whether you're watching, participating. We're only at the beginning. It's going to be absolutely incredible. So, again, thank you very much, everyone for watching. Thank you to Zach for joining me today. We had very, very good fun. And to be honest, I can't even bear to predict what would happen next week. I can't even describe that race. I can't even describe that ending. And it takes a lot to cause my voice to automatically scream a bit. But it is what it is. Commentating is fun. And yeah, we'll be back next week for more Tier 3. Keep your eyes peeled over the WOR, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, whatever. There's still plenty of stuff to enjoy. But until next time, from myself and Zach, we'll see you in Imola.